Oh, come on, you know it. The Middle East never sleeps. It's absolutely crazy there because, according to Reuters, Trump have proposed extending the Iran siege for months in order to strangle Iran's exports and force it to sign a deal. While Iranian military official told AFP that fighting with the United States will likely start back because Trump isn't happy with the terms which Iran proposed last night. While all of this is happening, Spain has demanded the release of a Spanish citizen who was arrested during Israel's raid on the so-called Freedom Flotilla and was taken to Israel. So this guy was literally trying to invade Israel and was taken into arrest for that. So we'll see what will happen. Sadly, according to Iranian media, Iran have executed 2 people in charge of spying for Israel and gathering intelligence near the Natanz nuclear site. However, please remember, if Iranians would only make a video of protest or something similar, it will be considered spying for the enemy, so for Israel or the United States. So if this is really true, we literally don't know. However, I wish the family members of the 2 executed a lot of strength and all the best for the future. Trump also made a really smart move at the Congress. He stated that the exchange of fire with Iran ended on April 7th, where he further stated that he will do what is necessary to protect America and its allies from Iran and its proxies. So basically, the Congress said, hey, what you're doing here is not a military operation, it's war, and for war you need approval. And Trump said the war, as you call it, has ended on April 7th, only the blockade will stay until Iran signs a deal for non-nuclear activity. Trump also confirmed that weapons were sent to the Kurdish fighters in Iraq and stated about that we, so the United States, would see who has them. He also added that he's not happy with what happened with the Kurds. They did not deliver the weapons. Trump further stated that the Iranians are demanding things I cannot accept, while he also stated when the war with Iran ends, oil and gas prices and everything else will quickly drop. While sadly the Iranians have not reached the stage of arriving at an agreement, while Trump also stated officially that he's not happy with Italy and with Spain because they feel it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. China also told the United Nations envoy that when Trump will visit China next month, the Strait will occupy a prominent place on the agenda. So basically, they will talk a lot about this point. And as I mentioned before, Trump literally can use the Strait as a leverage against China because China can't buy any low-cost oil from Iran anymore. So they are very angry about that. Trump also mentioned further that they have destroyed Iran's nuclear capability, while he also affirmed that the siege on Iran is successful and Iran cannot sell its oil. And here we go, Trump stated it again, that he does not call it what is happening in Iran a war, but a military operation. This is really important, so he's not going against the law of the United States. The Israeli army also have announced in Lebanon a warning to different cities that they will get attacked very soon, while the IDF stated that it have killed several terrorists which were identified near troops in some Lebanon, and it also struck and destroyed some 50 terrorist sites. The targets included command centers where members of the terror group were operating. Also, the terrorists fired several more rockets at Israeli troops. However, the rockets landed in an open area and causing no injuries. We got also confirmed that an explosion in Iran's Sanyang province have killed 14 IGC members and have injured 2 additional. This explosion occurred, according to reports, of the clearance of unexploded munition from prior United States-Israeli strikes, while the senior IGC commander, Ali something, is among the dead. The President Trump also stated on Iran, "We don't know who the hell we are dealing with. We call up, this is Muhammad, and I say, are you a leader? We're looking for a leader." He further stated, it's the only country in the world, nobody wants to be a leader. You know, they say, would anybody like to be president? And there are no takers. We got also confirmed that the United States have approved arms sales worth of about $9 billion to its Middle East allies, including Israel, Qatar, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates. This is ahead of a possible assumption of military operations against Iran in the near future. We could also confirm that around about 120 terror targets got attacked by the IDF over the weekend. Of these 120, 70 were military-used structures and the other 50 normal infrastructure of the terrorist organization. Among all of the targets, headquarters, weapon storage facilities, military use structures, and additional terror infrastructure got targeted. Our IDF official stated that victory means nothing if Iran gets the bomb. He further stated that we have achieved our military objectives in Iran, but if Iran still gets nuclear weapons, everything we did will be considered a failure. We accomplished nothing. The President Trump also stated that Iran isn't coming through with the kind of deal that we need to have. We're going to get this thing done probably. We are not going to leave early and then have the problem arise in 3 years. The Hamas terrorists in Gaza also concluded the leadership vote, and there were two candidates, Khalid al-Hayya and Khaled Masral. The group has lacked an elected leader since Ismail Haniyeh was killed in 2024. However, the results remain secret amid ongoing war and targeted eliminations. The United States forces also continue to patrol the strait, and so far 45 commercial vessels have been directed to turn around or return to the port to ensure compliance, while the IDF stated and displayed weapons seized from the Gaza-bound so-called aid flotilla, while the IDF continues to claim that some vessels were being used to smuggle arms under the guise of humanitarian assistance. And as we all know, the IDF contacted the vessel and stated if you want to bring humanitarian good, you can always do so. However, do it officially through this and this checkpoints, and we'll check it and then bring it to the people to Gaza. However, as you can imagine, this so-called flotilla isn't about the people in Gaza, it's more about terrorist acts and TikTok hype. We also got informed that according to Israeli inspectors, around 50 boats were inspected, while the other ships, at least many of them, contained basic supplies such as groceries, other were transporting weapons intended for the Hamas-controlled areas. The operation was only possible because of intelligence effort involving Mossad, which identified suspicious movements linked to the flotilla. According to Israeli Channel 12, a senior Somaliland official stated that his country is ready for security cooperation with Israel against the Houthis, describing the Houthis a common enemy. It also seems that the IRGC terrorist has just formed a new infantry brigade in southern Tehran using Basij military members and retired IRGC terrorists. The key objective, it is clear, mass murdering people of the capital city in case they rise against the Iranian regime. Also please remember that in the coming weeks or months, if the blockade will be still active, the possibility of uprising is very, very likely because of the shortage of food and the massive spike on inflation.